Hey guys, what is going on today? Bojo here, and we are finally back for our NHL 16 Be a GM following the Philadelphia Flyers here in the off-season of, I believe, year number 6. As we are in the middle of free agency, as I just mentioned. And I went ahead and did what I did say in last episode, that I was going to go sign some free agents off screen. And then by this video, pretty much, we're just going to be taking a look at our team, because this is going to be a very big turning point for this Flyers team as to what the future is really going to look like. So that's why we're just going to wait until the beginning of the regular season starts, or preseason, I guess you could say. We're going to see how everything looks, and then we're going to opt to have you guys help me out on making some decisions on what we do with the team. Who we trade, who we keep, who we getting rid of. All that fun stuff is going to happen in this video. But let's simulate a couple days here so we can get the free agency pickups here, and I'll show you guys who I ended up signing if we actually get it here. Alright, so Max Talbot I opted to get Talbot back once again. So Talbot is going to be rejoining our team. I went and got an old friend, Mark Barbario. He'll be back with our squad as well. Josh Manson, I went with him for a defensive type defenseman as another depth role. And then I also went with James Shepard, who was a really good depth forward. He was probably the best depth player available defensively wise. So I opted to get those 4 guys. They all joined the squad, which is nice. And now we can just continue to simulate past free agency and to the beginning of the preseason here for year number 6, I believe. The beginning of year number 6. But yeah, we can't make any decisions on this team right now unless we see the overall jumps. The overall jumps this year mean more than anything, to be honest, because we gave out some contracts to certain players. And let's see, Marc-Olivier Roy has been tendered a offer sheet of $1.160 million for 2 years by the New Jersey Devils. You have the necessary salary cap to match their offer and retain the services. We would not receive any compensation for this player. So New Jersey has gotten a offer sheet on the table for Marc-Olivier Roy. 1.16 for 2 years. So it looks like that is a regular NHL contract that they offered him. Remind me in 6 days, because I want to double check on that. Let's take a look at Marc-Olivier Roy, shall we? Let's go to contracts. I know he was one of the players that we did do a tender qualifying offer to. Let's see, where is Marc-Olivier Roy at? Is he gonna show up on our thing at all? Unrestricted free agents. Does he not show up on our on our roster anymore, since he's technically has an offer sheet on the table and we can't like match that anymore? Yeah, I don't think we can match that anymore. I wanted to see his stats and things like that. Oh, that sucks. Well, do we let him go? I don't think he was in the long-term plan. I think he wanted a 1-year deal, even though he wasn't really getting he wasn't going to be like an NHL type player. So I think we might let him go. Let me just keep advance the days here until I get the pop-up. Remind me. Alright, now's your last chance. Okay. 1.1 for 2 years. Have the salary cap to match it. Will not receive any compensation for this player. I'm going to let the Devils take him. I don't think he was in the long-term plan for this, so the New Jersey Devils can claim Marc-Olivier Roy with an offer sheet. I'm not going to pay him that $1.1 million. No way Jose was not going to let that happen. So he can have a fun time there in New Jersey. It was not part of the plan. I need to fix my dang chair. I just need to raise it up a bit. It was down way too low for some odd reason. But I don't think he was part of the plan, boys. Lose probably a nice little prospect player there, but you know what? That's fine. That is fine. Alright, preseason is right around the corner. It's actually right here. Into the preseason game against the New York Rangers till we get the pop-up. Add up our scout. Alright, so scouting wise, we definitely need to do some work in the Let's go to Russia. Why not? Let's scout some Russian forwards for 6 weeks. All right. Now that we here are at the beginning of the regular season, we can take a look at our team, our contracts, all that fun stuff. Let's see what this team looks like. All right, goaltenders, once again, no really big changes. Steve Mason and Michael Neuwirth. This is Steve Mason's pretty much his last year to prove something. If he doesn't get it done, then we really have to consider possibly moving on from him, because he'll be 33 years old at a 5.4 cap hit. If it doesn't work out for this Flyers team next year or this year, we really have to consider being maybe a rebuild, a 1-year rebuild type of team where we just, you know, sell off a lot of our players and start to rebuild from the ground up once again. But Mason and Neuwirth are going to be our 1-2 punch once again this year. No issues with that. In the system, we do have Stolars and Vixton up to 80s each. McBride is now medium starter, so he's not medium elite anymore. Medium potential to become a starter, which is still it's less than elite, but it is, you know, it's still not terrible. But Vixton and Stoley will actually, we're gonna go with Vixton and McBride this year. I forgot about that. I wanted to see if I could trade off Stolars this year because he's got an 8.25 cap hit, and it's his final year. I mean, I could keep him down there in the minors. He might still digress, but if there's an injury that does happen, I know I could call him up to the NHL team where he could become happy. Maybe that'll change his potential around, so I might just keep him. I'm not going to play him. I'll keep him as an extra goaltender just in case injuries do occur, because I don't feel safe having Vixton in there getting called up to the team as of yet. No, I don't feel safe with that. I feel more safer with Stoley in there, so I'll keep him around as an extra goaltender in case injuries happen for my attendees. Defensively, what do we got? All right, I have to do some roster moves, obviously. All right, Pravi's up to an 89 overall. Ivan Provorov is up to an 89 overall, still a top 4 defenseman. I forgot to save my game, so I'm going to make sure I do that once I'm done with all this. Travis Sanheim still an 87. Shane Gostisbehere 85. Robert Haig still at 85. Bachman's up to an 84, which is nice to see. He's now considered a top 4 defenseman. And Sam Moran still dropped down to an 84, I believe, from an 85. Still a top 4 defenseman, so we have 6 top 4 defensemen. We have 6 top 4 defensemen on our squad. Ay. It's pretty rough. That is pretty rough. It looks like I said when I mentioned it before, Robert Hagg looked to drop off a good bit from that 87 where he started off last year and down to an 85. He still has the high potential to become elite, so he definitely could still change it around this year. Maybe he needs to be dropped back down to the top 4 role and not that top 2 spot anymore. Maybe we go back to the Provorov-Sanheim combination with Gostisbehere, or maybe we go with Robert Haig and then maybe Ulf Bachmann now, and Gostisbehere and Moran get now relegated to the top 6. So, because we still have the potential with Haig. We still have the potential with Haig, and we still have good potential with Bachmann. We want Moran to be a top 6 player, so he's going to continue to get the top 6 minutes, whether he becomes unhappy with it or not. He's going to be that top 6 player. Barbario, Straight, and Postma. Straight. Oh, did I sign these guys? Oh, Barbario, Postma. Yeah. Oh, I think I signed an extra defenseman that I didn't need. Did I sign an extra defenseman I didn't need? I thought I signed 2. Yeah, I signed Manson. Okay, Josh Manson's down there. So I have like a bunch of depth players that could come in. I think I might have accidentally signed Josh Manson when I didn't need to. My bad on that, but everything else down here looks pretty good. Burrish could be signed. I might sign this guy. He's low potential to become top 4. He was our draft pick this year, 2nd round pick, minor league top 6 defenseman, low potential for top 4, 76 overall. I definitely think he can make the team. Gogolev and Halschuk and Taro Martins are all 81, 80, and 80. Gogolev's a top 6. I don't feel comfortable putting him on our NHL team though. With a defensive awareness of 50, with 85, and no discipline and offensive awareness, don't really feel too comfortable putting him in. So he'll get down there in the minors once again. Halschuk is still is a depth defenseman. Taro Martins is still another depth defenseman, a little bit better than Halschuk is, but yeah, I don't feel comfortable putting Gogolev in there, even though he's technically considered a top 6. I want top 2 time for him and Halschuk in the AHL, Taro Martins, and I think we could sign this Burrish guy. Let's do it. Let's offer Burrish a contract here. He'll be on there. Cool, so we'll get Burrish onto our preseason squad. He'll play. He'll play on the AHL this year. I think that's our 6th defenseman right there. So they have Halishuk, Martins, Manson, Davis, and Bursch. Works for me. But other than that, things looking okay down there. Well, obviously we might send some players up and down. Barbario and Straight. Did I sign Straight last episode? I don't remember if I did. If I did, then that's crazy that I did. We could probably send out Postma. Yeah, we could send out Postma, and Barbario and Straight will be like the 2 depth players up here. We don't need them all. We only need 1. But still, that'll be good there. Alright, right wingers. Forgot to turn off notifications. Alright, Jake Voracek still in 90, which is good. Timo Meier, 86. He got a nice little boost. 86 overall with a 2 mil contract. He's a second liner? Really? Does Timo Meier have what it takes to become a second line player? That's very interesting. As a power forward, shooting category is pretty good. Still has that powerful slap shot. Defensively, he's really good defensively. Defensive awareness wise, I should say. Almost at a 90, which is good. Shot block, he's stick checking not too much, but he can play defense. Puck skills are okay. His hand eye is good. Discipline, offensive awareness, not too much, but Timo Meier, a guy who's only played 1 NHL season so far with 17 points, had 12 goals, plus 3 last year in 70 games. Apparently wants second line time. Very interesting. Alright. Tyler Toffoli, still at 85. Second line player. Okay. Still. He might play third line this year, though, because of Grantham. But we shall see. Yeah, I did do some signing of free agents last time. I guess I just, like, you know, I just skipped my mind. Ben Smith, I signed last episode, I guess. Brian White, Max Talbot's back again. So we have lots of depth players just in case anything crazy happens this year, which, you know, may or may not happen. I'll send these guys down to the AHL, call them back up later. But right wings look okay in the system. What do we got? Oh, Earl Grantham, 88 overall. Yep, he's second line material. He might even be first line material. I might even technically consider putting Earl Grantham on the first line with Giroux and Voracek. That is obvious. That is definite possibility right there. He might be a second line player, but if we put him on the first line and have him produce, he could probably get it done. Move him over to the left wing since he's a right-handed shot on the left wing. Ooh, that would be really, really nice. That'd be really nice to have as well. Right-handed shot on the left wing. Oh, that would be so nice. Yeah, I think he might go first line. Shooting is pretty decent. Puck moving skills are good. Defensively, he's good as well. Offensive awareness up at a 90. Yep, I think he goes first line. Gauthier, 83. Is he still a depth player? Still a depth player. Alanko, he's an 80. Curtis Alanko. I'll have to double check my AHL squad for offense to see if I sign him, because he's the top 6 forward at 80 overall, so he'll be up there quick. Same thing with, is it Wade? It's Wade Moss, right? Wayne Moss. He's a 4th liner, really? He's technically considered a 4th liner. We do need a 4th liner on the team. Like a fourth liner to play. We do have depth players, obviously, so if nothing works out, we could obviously always just scratch him and send him back down again, but because he'll be on his entry-level deal, but that's an option right there. 4th liner right there, Wayne Moss. Jalov Palaz, Albie Kubel. Yeah, we could definitely trade some of these guys away for like prospects or extra picks, because we don't really, some of these guys really aren't turning out all too much. Let's go main roster here. Wayne Simmons, 87. He went down a bit, and he's now a second liner. So Timo Meier is also a second liner, Wayne. This is gonna be difficult this year, isn't it? Konechny, only an 84. Konechny, I gave you that $3 million contract, and you're only an 84 still. You better jump by next year, because the way your contract was looking, it looked like you were really going to jump next year. So he might get third line time once again this year. He might get some good line mates down that third line if Toffoli joins him, but you need to step it up there, kid. I'm expecting big things out of you in the next like 2 years. Not maybe this year, but next year I expect a lot. Reed McDonough is a depth player. Edgar O'Sullivan still at 80. Oscar Lindbaum's looking pretty good. Orla Barbara, don't know about you. No, you can stay on sign. Riley, Kazenheim, and Schneider can all stay on sign. They're not high enough. LaBarbera technically, but we might have a bit too many players. That's the only reason I'm saying that. And then centers, we have, oh my good lord, Nathan Noel. Ledger is still at a 90, which is nice. But Nathan Noel, 89 overall? 89? Maybe he goes the first line. He's a second line player too. How? How is it 89 overall? A second line player. That's ridiculous. Well, that's a really fantastic number 2 center right to put behind Claude Giroux. And let me know, guys, before we continue along with this series, should I change Nathan Noel to a two-way forward? Because the way I'm looking at him, 6 foot, 179. He has a hard shot. He's really good defensively. His playmaking skills aren't really that great other than his puck control. Like, the way I'm looking at his stats all around, it screams two-way forward at me. Like a two-way forward with a powerful shot, a really good 5-star defensive category, and puck moving skills, like, are so-so other than his puck control. That said, it screams two-way forward to me. So I might change his player type to a two-way forward. Coots is at an 85, and then Shepard 81. But that's a nice combo right there. A 1-2 setup center-wise with Claude Giroux and Nathan Noel. That's pretty ridiculous. And then in the system, Cornell, 83, depth forward. Murray Generous is at 82. He's a fourth liner. See, I have more comfortability. That's a really hard word to say. Comfortability with Murray Generous coming in there and playing fourth line for the team this year because his defensive stats are a lot better than Wade Moss's were. So I have more comfortability than with playing Murray Generous in there with Kruger probably. Kruger 84. Yeah, I'd rather have Kruger in there as the center, Ryan White obviously on the wing, and then having Murray Generous down there on the fourth line. I'd have some comfortability in that. I would definitely have some comfortability in that. And then Magali and LaBerge are right here. We lost Marc-Olivier Roy, obviously, but LaBerge, coming up there, not really great defensively. Magali's fine. Cullimore and Livingston. Yeah, we can leave those guys unsigned. Okay, well, let's see here. Let's do roster moves. Let's figure out what we can do, and let's set the team up as we think we should. All right, so goalies should be fine. Mason Neuwirth, Bride, Stollers, Vixton, fine. Defense, we need. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So straight, Barbario, and Postma. Postma, you go down. And we can have 21 out of 20 skaters up here still. So do we want to keep straight or Barbario? Offensive guy or defensive guy? We really only have one defensive guy up here now. So Barbario and Postma, you can go back down. Okay. That leaves straight up there as the depth guy. That's good. All right, forward-wise, let's check out the right wingers first. We want Voracek, Meyer. So Voracek, yes. Meyer, yes. Toffoli, yes. Ryan White, yes. Ben Smith. I believe we can keep Ben Smith up here as a depth player. Yeah, for sure. We can keep Ben Smith up here. Talbot can go down. Okay, and then in the system, I don't think there's any right wingers that need to come up. Grantham does. Grantham for sure. Gauthier stays down there. Jeplaus, Olby Kubel, Dipple, those guys stay. Okay. We're still at 19 out of 21 skaters. So Ben Smith will be one depth player. I think we keep 2 depth forwards up here, so what we usually do. Simmons and Konechny, for sure. Limbaum, O'Sullivan, McDonough are fine, so they stay. Then the centers. Drew, Couturier, Noel, and Shepard. I think Shepard will be the other guy we keep up here. Yep, for sure. For sure. And then in the system, we need Generous. And Marcus Kruger. I'm not forgetting Ryan White, did I? Was he up here? Was he on the right wingers? Is he up here already? Yeah, Ryan White was there. Okay. So, yeah, I think that's it. Okay, let's do best lines. Add up our lines. And let's see what I can do here, what magic I can go. What their best lines are telling me to do. Okay, so this is what best lines is telling me to do. They want Earl Grantham, Claude Giroux, and Jacob Voracek, which was what I was going to do in the first place. That's what I was definitely going to do in the first place. I think that's a solid first line, a playmaker with Giroux, the rookie Grantham, putting him on the wing, letting these 2 veteran guys lead him. a 20-year-old next to a 31 and a 32-year-old like Claude Giroux and Jacob Voracek, I think Grantham will definitely succeed, and I think he might even give some production to Giroux and Voracek. We'll have to see. Now, second line. I want Nathan Noel there. For sure, I want Nathan Noel there. Do I want Nathan Noel? I guess Timo Meier and Wayne Simmons? Playmaker, power, well, it should be two-way forward, power forward, maybe? Of a really gritty type of second line. Third pair, Konechny, Couturier, Toffoli. I like the third line. I like the third line a lot. Coots, Konechny, and Toffoli. And then the fourth line would be Ryan White, Kruger. Then instead of Ben Smith, we put in Generous. So we can move Generous to the left wing, keep Kruger on the center, obviously, and then Ryan White on the right wing. I don't think there's any other movements of like player types. Everybody else is in the right position. We just make Earl Grantham a left winger instead of a right winger. And I think the team is set up to go. That's what the team, I think, is going to look like here. Grantham, Giroux, Voracek, Simmons, Noel, Meier, Konechny, Couturier, Toffoli, Generous, Kruger, and White. And Generous to a left wing. So we move Grantham from right wing to left wing. We move Generous from a center to a left wing. And then possibly make Nathan Noel a two-way forward instead of a playmaker. But that'll be determined by you guys if we do so. So that's our offense right there. That's what I technically would go with. Even though Toffoli's a second liner, he might not like being a third liner. Even though Couturier is a second liner, might not like being a third liner. Konechny is a third liner, so he can stay down there. He'll be fine with that. I can give him maybe some power play time if I so wish, if there's any room for power play time. But that's what the team looks like. That's what I would do. Personally, I would do. Defensively, I'd go Provy and Sanheim for sure. Provorov I would want on the 1T side right here. Have Sanheim carrying the puck on the left. Because Provorov has the better shot, right? Whoever has the better shot should have the 1T side for defensively. Provorov does, yeah. So we let him take the one side shots. Bachman I would want over here. And then Robert Haig I'd want over here. And then since Ghost isn't getting any better, he's up already at 85, which is, you know, kind of where I think he maybe should be. And then we want Moran and Ghosts. So we want Moran taking the 1T spots on the right-hand side. Ghost can carry it up the left. And then Moran can go right there. So that's my defense. Sanheim with Provy. Hag with Bachman, because I'm going to try to get Bachman a little bit of growth here. Because Ghost really didn't turn out as hot as I'd want him to be. 85 is still decent. An amazing wrist shot. An offensive category for an offensive defenseman, which is good, and still like 85s for his defense, which is good. Pair him up with a defensive guy like Moran, he should be good. You lower his ice time, maybe Ghost will, you lower his ice time, maybe he'll produce a little bit more for us. But then we have a guy like Bachman, who's not as gifted offensively as Ghost is, but Ghost will definitely be playing the power play for sure. Because power play will probably be Provorov, Sanheim, Haig, and Ghost at least 3 of them for sure. Bachman probably not on the power play because he's not that gifted power play wise. And then Moran obviously will be penalty kill. Haig will probably be penalty kill. Provorov for sure will be penalty kill, and Sanheim will be penalty kill. Bachman and Ghost Bear are going to get a lot of rest defensively wise, but that's my defensive setup as well. You know, we change anything with that? I don't know. Goaltender's fine. It's mainly the offensive starting lineup. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. And then how's the AHL look? How does the AHL look for right now? Is there anybody playing that I think should be playing? And if I could sign anybody, let me see. So McDonough should play. He's 83. Cornell should play because he's 83. Gauthier should play, so that's a stellar first line in the AHL. Talbot should not play, so I'll scratch him. All right, let's do this. Who can I scratch for Talbot? Who's not playing? No left wingers. Okay, so there's one player right there I can play. Well, hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Can I just like scratch him right now? Scratch. Okay, so there's one spot right there. Gumas, you're not playing right there. Scratch you. fight in, scratch you. Oops. Fight in, scratch him. Oh my god, for Christ's sakes. Scratch. Yes, thank you. Okay, so Sullivan moves up. LaBerge moves up. Oh wait, Kubal's fine right there. And then Jepilov's is fine right there. Oscar Lindbaum, he's a left winger, so we can move him over there. And now we need a fourth line. We need a full fourth line of players here. Who can play? So Gumas, so right there is fine. Do we have any scratched right wingers that could play? Talbot's Keanu. Keanu can play. Substituting the lines for Keanu Yamamoto. Keanu's in there. Fightin is... Okay, so we can sign 2 players in the AHL to play. So if we have any openings in the AHL or 2 players to be signed, we can do that. So let's do that right now before we end off the episode, and we'll come back to this in a quick little jiffy. If we go to contracts here, if there's anybody that needs to be signed, for sure sign them. Alright, so we're going to the in the system players. Alright, let's go to centers. Anybody center-wise that need to be signed. Cullimore could play. So Cullimore could play, a 19-year-old two-way forward. 3rd round pick. Okay, so there's one option right there. We could go with Cullimore. I mean, the left winger's available. LaBarbera's a little bit too low of an overall, so I'll pass on LaBarbera. Right wingers, Alanko for sure. For sure, Curtis Alanko can play. Yeah, for sure, Curtis Alanko can play. And then maybe Wade Moss as well. Wayne Moss can play as well. So it's either Moss the Grinder or Cullimore. Yeah, we want Moss and Alanko. So Alanko, you can get signed. You're ready to play. And then Wayne Moss, you can play. Okay, so we both got those guys. They're gonna have anxiety, but that's perfectly fine right there. And then we go back to the edit lines. Back to edit lines. We go to the AHL. Let's see, so Fightin will get substituted for Alanko. Not really happy right now, but that's, you know, that's fine. He's already 80 overall, minor league scoring forward, so he can get moved where Jepilov's is. Jepilov's can play 4th line time, and then Gumas, he can get scratched for Moss, and then we can just put whoever has the best, like, face-off wise down here on the 4th line can play. Do I want Alanko right there? He's supposed to be top 6, and he's got a really good offensive category. He would rip in the guys down here. But I like Olbe Kubel because his shot's a little bit harder. Shot is definitely harder than Alanko's. Alanko's is kind of like mid-80s. Olbe Kubel's is like upper 90s for a shot. It's not as accurate, but it's harder. I kind of like the 3rd line. We'll leave Limbaugh, Magali, and Alanko. And then who has the best face-offs down here? 71, 63, 65. Wayne Moss had 71, so I guess you can stay there, Wayne. Sure. Let's go with that. 3 right wingers down there on the 4th line, but you know what? That's fine. I don't need to change positions for those guys. We change them when they get to the NHL team. But there's my AHL team as well. So McDonough, Cornell, Gauthier, O'Sullivan, LaBerge, Olbe Kubel, Limbaugh, Magali, Alanko, Jepilovs, Moss, and Yamamoto. Defensively, Gogolev and Halishchuk. Yep, they're on the right sides. Taro Martins and Barbario probably could get scratched for Burish. Burish is the one guy that needs to play. So Burish can play for sure. Burish, Davis. Yes, let's go with Gogolev, Halishchuk, Martins, Manson, Burish, and Davis. Since Davis technically could get a little bit better, we can go with Stuart Burch since he's a minor league top 6, and he'll actually like playing down here. Why not? In that position, so he might like that. But there's our AHL line, which looks pretty solid. But like I said, the main thing is this lineup right here. Since Wade Simmons is not a first line player anymore, he's a second liner. I think it's time for the rookie to jump right in there and show this first overall pick from last year what he can do in the NHL level on the first line with Claude Giroux and Jacob Voracek. Put him in the spotlight. Let Wayne Simmons now have some time with another possible two-way forward in Nathan Noel, and newly coming up Timo Meier up to the second line now, which should be really nice since he's he's really seems to be growing a little bit faster than Konechny was, and it looks like he's definitely growing a lot faster than Julien Gauthier was. So it looks like he's ending up on the right hand of the stick. No sniper now in the second line, which is fine, but as a result, now we get a really great defensive player in Sean Couturier down the third line. We have a playmaker like Travis Konechny who can move the puck like a beauty. And then we have Tyler Toffoli, who will also give us another scoring touchdown there on the third line. And then the fourth line, we still have Kruger and White, who've been with us for like the past, 3 years. And then we have another rookie jumping up into the squad, Murray Generous, up to the squad, who has a pretty respectable defensive category. And I think he should fit in perfectly fine on this Flyers team on the fourth line. Defensively, nothing has changed except just a couple movement arounds. Sanheim goes back to the top. Haig goes to the top 4 with Bachman. Ghost and Morin now play top 6. Mason and Neuver still in the net. So that's what the lineup looks like there, boys. Do we change anything? Do we make any trades? Do we possibly trade any players out? But because for right now, if guys might be unhappy with their ice time, we can move players around and stuff like that. But the way it looks right now, I think it's a solid team that we have set up right now. That addition to Grantham might actually really help us out. Even though Rick Nash didn't help us out last year, still, we have a blessing of a young 20-year-old sniper who could actually really help out the team. And if you work with two really good guys like this, anything can happen this year, boys. So let me know. You guys have saw the line changes. Let me know what we should do. Is there any trades that we make? Do we make any trades? Do we make any position changes? Do we think we just run with this team once again and, see exactly what happens? But this is the year to change everything. If we want to make a big change, we change it right now. So you guys can let me know. I think it looks good personally, but want to hear what you guys have to think as well. So thanks for watching, guys. Leave your suggestions down below. Leave a like, comment, subscribe as always, guys, and we'll see you next time.